Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another daily Chelsea update. Lots to go through as always, people. Marc Guiu, the young Barcelona striker, has decided to join Chelsea. He's turned down a new offer at Barcelona to join the Blues. Very advanced stage of the deal. Whilst there's been no official announcements, that deal is expected to be complete. So Marc Guiu has chosen to join Chelsea. The Blues are seriously interested, according to Sky Germany, in Lille's Jonathan David, who could be available for as little as 17 to 21 million pounds. He's expected to leave the French club this summer. That is a deal that Chelsea should be all over, in my opinion. But we probably won't be all over it. But yeah, Chelsea and West Ham are the clubs interested in Jonathan David. We've also got the latest on Alfie Gilchrist, who could be joining Cesc Fabregas Como on loan. There's the news on Noni Madueke that Newcastle have discussed him internally ahead of a possible summer move. I don't see why Chelsea would sanction an exit on Madueke, but he has been discussed internally at Newcastle. According to The Athletic, Chelsea are targeting one or two attacking players rather than committing to signing a central striker. This is all very interesting, one or two attacking players. I'm concerned that, Amari Kellyman and Marc Guiu could be the one or two attacking players that we're talking about here. So we're going to dive into that. The Athletic have listed a number of Chelsea targets as well in the attacking areas. It's believed that there are 5 to 7 players under consideration for the attacking positions. How likely any of those are to join remains to be seen. But there's loads to get into as always, guys. So make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're new around here. 55 in the building already. Let's run the likes up, guys. Should be light work here. Let's say hello to a few people and then we'll dive into the show. I hope we get Jonathan David, and 24-year-old would be good competition with Jackson. Yeah, I hope so as well, but I can't see it. Welcome to Chelsea FC Guiu. Yep, that's going to be confirmed over the next couple of days, I would have thought. David is for Brentford, brother. Jonathan David's not going to Brentford. I'm not sure where's that information come from that David's going to Brentford. That's not happening. Yes, big up, brother. I hope you're doing well. Yes, big up. Yes, hope you're doing well. I think it'll be a good loan move for Alfie. Yeah, that would be a good loan move for Alfie if it does go through. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen. It's just been discussed internally at Newcastle. Teams discuss a lot of players internally, but it's interesting that Newcastle are discussing Madueke on an internal basis. They obviously clearly rate him and like him. There's some other names that obviously that they're discussing on their list as well. Sean, big up, bro. Hope you're doing well. Yes, afternoon, Derek. David's going to Spurs. Well, not necessarily. Obviously, they are also interested, but yeah, there's a bargain there for someone to have. There is absolutely a bargain there for someone to have an opportunity to sign a decent player for a very cheap price. But let's dive into the main news. As we discussed Marc Guiu yesterday, deal was reportedly at an advanced stage. And now reports coming out of Spain have stated that Guiu's just turned down a new offer, an offer of 2 million euros net per season at Barcelona, and Chelsea have offered him 6 million. They've tripled the offer from Barcelona. So that is probably part of the reason as to why he's coming. But yeah, this is what Fabrizio Romano is reporting. Chelsea believe Marc Guiu is an incredible cheap opportunity. It's a bargain, according to Chelsea. They want to trust him for the first team. Now, look, we can agree that this is an opportunity in the market. 6 million euros for anyone is an absolute bargain, particularly when you're buying from, say, a Barcelona or just buying in general. 6 million euros might get you one boot these days. But it's interesting that he's 18 years old, Guiu. It's interesting that Chelsea are, looking at this as a potential first team signing. That would suggest to me that, if you're going to sign Guiu and you've got Nkunku who can potentially also play in that position, then why would you sign another striker on top of that? That would be my thoughts on that situation. Would it make sense to sign a Guiu and then go and sign a Jonathan David? Now, look, for me personally, that should happen, but I don't know. It's looking like if they're trusting him for the first team and they think he can make an impact in the first team. Obviously, I presume he'll be assessed in pre-season beforehand, and then we'll obviously decide what to do with him. But you don't leave Barcelona to then go on loan to Strasbourg for a couple of seasons. Surely you don't do that. There's an opportunity for him. He would have been in and around the periphery of the Barcelona squad. He's a good player. Xavi liked him. He made 7 appearances last season, scored a couple of goals, one in the Champions League, one in La Liga. His debut 23 seconds after coming off the bench against Athletic Bilbao. So he's got something about him. There's ability there. I, of course, like most Chelsea fans, haven't watched enough of the kid. But there's definitely ability there. He's come through La Masia, a good football upbringing. He's clearly got a little bit about him. But as I always say with these youngsters, there's no point hoarding this talent if there's no clear pathway for their development. Otherwise, you're just halting their development at the end of the day. And, you don't want to be doing that. You absolutely do not want to be doing that. What are people saying in the chat? But is Guiu's statistics up to our current striker? If not, I see it as a waste of money if he cannot perform better than our current striker. Well, what we have to realize here is that an 18-year-old with 7 first-team appearances for his club is not going to have better statistics than a 23-year-old Nico Jackson, who is far more established in his career at this point in time. Yeah, look, he's definitely got something about him. Sure, absolutely. But my point is that, yes, you take this as an opportunity in the market, sure, but it's not the answer to our problems. And do we actually trust that the club are going to actually go out there and solve the attacking problems by making any sort of decent signing in the attacking areas of the pitch? I'm unsure on that front. I have to be perfectly honest, very unsure on that front. I don't know if this is anything to do with Joe Shields at all. Not every young player we sign has got Joe Shields on it. I've not heard that Joe Shields has got any involvement in this deal. I've not seen anything that would suggest that Joe Shields has involvement in this deal. Look, I don't know if these guys are even for the first team. I'll be honest, guys, I don't know what the plan is for these players. I'm not sure if Chelsea even know what the plan is for these players. You can brief all this stuff. Oh, yeah, it's a plan for the first team. We see it's a great opportunity in the market. But actually, when they get here, it probably ends up being a completely different story. Certainly feels like that in some instances. Yeah, but a great under-21s doesn't win you trophies and doesn't get you challenging at the top end of the table. If you just want to become a feeder club that accrues good youngsters and sells them on for profit, like a Brighton or a Leipzig on steroids, basically, then accruing all these youngsters is not really moving the needle, is it? Let's look at the business we've done so far, right? Tosin Adarabioyo, good signing. Okay, on a free Premier League experience, good opportunity in the market. Amari Kellyman coming in, purely a way of bypassing PSR. So that is a deal that's been done not because we want the player or because we were targeting him. Please tell me, right? If we didn't have potential PSR issues, right, would Chelsea be going anywhere near Amari Kellyman this summer? Absolutely not. So we're looking at the signs we've made, right? Does Marc Guiu, does Amari Kellyman, do these guys improve the first team? Do they improve the squad? I don't think Kellyman and Guiu improve the squad in any way whatsoever. They are just more bodies being added to the mix with seemingly no plan for them. You need to invest and improve. excuse me, improve the first team and improve the squad. Yes, okay, this might add depth, but it doesn't really add quality. Kellyman's played 3 Premier League games or made 3 Premier League appearances for Aston Villa. Guiu's a bit more advanced in his development in terms of he has played 7 times for Barcelona. He's had a bit of exposure to Champions League football and whatnot. But are we seriously saying that, are people seriously saying that these are signings that they think are actually going to make an improvement to Chelsea next season? It's all very well planning for the long term, but what about the here and now? what about the here and now? Is my point here. You know, are these guys ready to improve this team in the here and now and the present? And I look at it. It's, for me personally, I'd love to be wrong here, but I'm looking at these potential signings here. I mean, Adebayo aside, because, you know, that's kind of a squad role, Premier League experience. You know, you can understand that and get behind it. But this obsession with the future, rather than focusing on the now, where the first team has totally underperformed for 2 seasons now, it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense. But Chelsea clearly big believers in Guiu. Obviously, really like him. They view it as an opportunity. Look, I'll be honest. If this release clause was, let's say this release clause was 40 or 50 million euros rather than 6, are Chelsea still interested? That would be my point. You know, it's like when you see something in the sale and it's like, oh, it's 20 quid instead of 50. Are you attracted because of the reduction in price, or would you have paid full price if it wasn't in the sale? That's the reality we're looking at here. And look, it's fine to exploit opportunities in the market, absolutely. And only time will tell if this proves to be a good opportunity in the market. But I'm looking at this now, and I just think, in isolation, I can get behind it because it's 6 million euros, and you know you're going to make a profit regardless of what happens. He's not going to be sold for less than 6 million euros. But it's a strange one. It's a strange one that we don't seem to be targeting players that are going to be looking at improving the first team, which is at the end of the day is what we need to do. We've basically got our fingers in too many pies. We're like, you know, we're trying to improve the first team. We're trying to plan for the future. We're trying to get this multi-club model up and running, rather than, you know, the most important thing is the first team is performing well. Get the first team performing well, then focus on signing players for the future, and then focus on getting your multi-club model up and running. Don't try and do all 3 things at once, and then, you know, none of it's really got itself moving. No, but Martin going to he's a homegrown player, Kellyman, so that helps out Villa, and Martin was homegrown for us, so that helps us out. Which big signing do you think we'll get? Brother, we don't do big signings this summer. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I would imagine that unless Chelsea have got something up their sleeve, which, okay, admittedly, can never fully be ruled out, there's an issue here that, for me personally, I think the biggest signing we make this summer, if we decide to go for him, would be Jonathan David. That's the level of signing I believe that we're looking at this summer, in my humble opinion. But yeah, I mean, Guiu, obviously that was the first bit of news about Guiu, and then Fabrizio adding as well that as we touched upon, Marc Guiu will go to Chelsea. He's not in the plan to go to Strasbourg. The plan is to be part of Enzo Maresca's team and see how they develop together. So obviously he's going to be given an opportunity to impress in pre-season, and then a decision will be taken from there. Let's see. Yes, big up, brother, big up. Let's wait and see what happens if anything changes next month. Phil South of Gallagher, Ball don't want to risk on a free. No, I think Gallagher will probably end up staying. Somerville and David, I don't think Somerville will join Chelsea. There won't be big signings ever again. 150k max wages does not get top players. Well, exactly. That's why when you see like news like you know, there's an unnamed Premier League club interested in Bayern Munich's Kingsley Coman, you might have thought, oh, maybe that's Chelsea. But then when you realise that he's on half decent money at Bayern, that then straight away rules us out. Yeah, it would be interesting to know, wouldn't it? I'd love to sit in that pitch when they're presenting the project and they're presenting the whole package and whatnot. I'd love to be sat there because it must be convincing. It must absolutely be convincing. Chelsea's DNA, when everyone laughs at Chelsea and think they all fail, they then perform better. Well, let's hope so. Maybe. I'm surprised we haven't decided to try and sign Messi's son. Or maybe we're going to sign Cristiano Ronaldo's son, or maybe those two will be our next signings. Project 2050 with those guys. Let's see. Xavi gave Guiu game time over Victor Roque. I don't know what was going on with the Victor Roque situation. But yeah, I don't know how much. I don't think Roque featured much at Barcelona. But yeah, look, Guiu's got some ability. Is he better than Victor Roque? I don't know. I can see Gallagher staying. Well, let's see. Well, there is that potentially, but I don't think you'd report that for no reason, because that would just be complete lies, which I don't know if that's kind of, excuse me, I'm not sure if that's kind of what we're about, that's what reporting's about. There could be a slight fabrication of the truth potentially, but I'd be surprised if it was made up that there was a unnamed Premier League club interested in Kingsley Coman. Do you think David will be first choice and Jackson backup? I've got no idea, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if David... look, to be honest, they're both going to play a lot of minutes. If David comes in, he'd play a lot of minutes. There's Conference League, there's a lot of Premier League games, domestic cups, rotation and whatnot. If David come in, would he be the first choice straight away? I'm not sure. But he could certainly establish himself as the first choice. I don't know if anybody else that says this, but maybe if he really is the backup, as the reporting is saying, then they can go out and buy a world-class keeper and a left back. I'd be shocked if we sign a goalkeeper. I think the plan is to assess Robert Sanchez in pre-season, see how he adapts to Maresca's style. If Maresca's not happy with him, then I think maybe he might recommend for a new goalkeeper to come. But I don't think that's necessarily on the horizon. But I mean, look, if we went into the next season with Guiu and Jackson, right? This is just a hypothetical, okay? But if we went in with Guiu and Jackson, it's a problem because it's putting a lot of pressure on Nicolas Jackson. It's also putting a lot of pressure on Guiu, who is an unproven youngster. And look, what happens if one of them gets injured? Then what happens? What happens if Jackson gets injured? Guiu's just got to lead the lineup by himself when he's not even played 10 games of senior football. I mean, these are things that we need to think about here. It's all very well, we have the plans to do this and that, but often the reality can be very different to what you plan. So we need to wait and see what's gonna happen here. I'm unsure right now what the attacking plans are, but clearly when Guiu does sign, and I think this deal is going to go through this week probably, he will be assessed in the preseason, and then a decision will be taken on what to do. But if Maresca doesn't think he's up to it, I don't think he'd go on loan to Strasbourg. I think they would maybe be a loan somewhere else potentially. But I imagine that Chelsea have pitched to Guiu that if he impresses, there's an opportunity to be a part of the first team squad. Guys, there's 200 people in the building. Big up to every single person that is locked in right now. Smash the like button, guys. We're on 66 likes. Let's get this up to 100 likes ASAP. And please subscribe to the channel as well. We're 7 subscribers away from 10,230. That should be light work. Let's try and knock another 7 off, even more if we can. So please do smash the subscribe button. Heading towards 10.3K now. Every new subscriber would be greatly appreciated. So please smash the likes, get it up to 100. Subscribe to the channel if you are new round here as well. It would be greatly appreciated, people. Was hoping a Guirassy pick up. It would be a logical move, but we don't get that from this board yet. I hear you. Do you think he will play in the Conference League if he stays? Yeah, I absolutely imagine so. They're going to buy Guiu and David, and they'll play David and Jackson as 1 and 2, and then Guiu gets some minutes to develop. Well, how's he going to get minutes to develop when Jackson and David are going to be getting the majority of the minutes, unless Guiu's literally going to play Conference League. I'm not really sure. Yeah, Sar's going to go. We know that Sar's going. Do you think we'll target another marquee-ish winger now we lost out on Elise? I mean, I've not seen anything with Ademola Lookman. I don't think we're going to make any marquee signings. That's how I am looking at things right now. I don't believe we will make any marquee signings. I think it will more be signings for the future, or players that are prepared to fall into the wage structure, or opportunities in the market. But that's the latest on Guiu. If we move on to that deal, I think will be made. Will be confirmed this week. Maybe not official announcements, but I think that will be confirmed this week. What's also interesting is this from The Athletic this morning. There are 5 to 7 players under consideration for the attacking positions. Jonathan David admired. Duran on the list, but interest is called. Omarodion, another bid not ruled out. Maximilian Bayer, not a front runner. Nico Williams, too expensive. So you can take, obviously, Nico Williams off the list. I think, to be honest, you can probably take Samu Omarodion off the list as well. Reportedly, Chelsea have had 3 bids turned down for him by Atletico Madrid. I don't know. We'll go back in. Apparently, the last offer was up to £42.2 million. So that's we can't be going much higher than that for someone that's not even appeared for Atletico Madrid yet. That for me wouldn't be a good use of money. The John Duran stuff, I think if Chelsea genuinely wanted Duran, I think they would have gone and got that deal done. That deal is there to be done. Maybe they're exploring their options, and they might then go back to Duran. That is absolutely a possibility. But I think the most likely situation now out of this list, guys, is Jonathan David. If that's what we're looking at here, I think Jonathan David is the most likely option, and right now is the best option, 100% the best option that we are linked with. No doubt about it whatsoever. He is definitely the best option that we're linked with. But you look at those names, we're looking at those kind of attacking players there. And you just think, look, no disrespect to any of these players, but other than maybe Jonathan David, who out of Duran, Omarodion, and Bayer, I'm not counting Nico Williams because he's never coming, but who out of Duran, Omarodion, and Bayer are actually improving the first team? None of those. None of those are doing that. So it's a little bit concerning to see that we don't appear to be targeting any players right now that are actually going to go and improve the first team. Yes, Jonathan David would improve the first team, but we seem to be looking at players that aren't improving the first team. Yes, of course, maybe Tosin Adarabioyo might play more than people think, but it's disappointing to see, guys. It is very, very disappointing to see what's going on right now. I don't think Nico Williams is shit. It's a lot of money to spend. He's obviously demands large wages. He's only 21 years of age. Let's see how he develops. Let's see what happens with him. Let's see if he does get a big move this summer. But I really don't expect Nico Williams. I think Nico Williams could go somewhere, but Nico Williams is absolutely not coming to Chelsea. He's too expensive for us. People unhappy with Nkunku as Jackson has 9 options. I'll tell you why. Because you sell Amanda Broja this summer. What happens if Nkunku or Jackson gets injured? There's no other recognised strikers in the squad, and Jackson has to play as a 9 on his own, and there's no options to rotate unless you go and play like a shitty false 9 or something, which we don't want to be doing. So this idea that we need competition, there needs to be 3. I haven't got an issue with Jackson. Let's say Jackson and David as the 2 number 9s, and then you have Nkunku as a 3rd option that can play there. That isn't horrendous. I mean, look, all right, it's not optimal, but compared to what might be on the cards, that is a much better equation than just Jackson and Nkunku for sure. But yeah, these are some of the options. Obviously, Guiu's on there as well, but I don't know if that's really counting as a major first team signing. I could be wrong on that front. We will see. I don't. People aren't hating the Guiu signing. I don't hate it. It's an opportunity in the market. It's €6 million. There's nothing to lose. But let's not pretend that this is an opportunity that this signing makes the first team better. It absolutely doesn't. Jonathan David is miles better than Guiu. Yes, he's obviously a lot more developed and a lot further down the road in his career than Guiu is. But this is a guy that scored 83, 84 goals for Lille in 180 odd games. It's a decent return. He knows where the back of the net is. He's 24 years of age. He's got Champions League experience, got that European experience. I don't know if we're why we're being so stingy with wage. I don't know if being stingy, but yeah, look, obviously the club want to get the wage structure, in. They want to rein it in, which is fine. So I think it got out of control under Roman. That's fine. And it's okay to have a wage structure loosely, but by being so rigid with it, it basically means that you're not going to sign top players, because the top players demand the big wages. And if you're setting your stall out that you're not prepared to pay the top money for these players, then at the end of the day, you may as well forget it. You may as well forget it, because they're not coming for pennies. That is as simple as that. There's a player in Madueke. Please don't let him go, especially after the collapse still. And I don't think he will. I don't know. I think we've got players that can break up play in midfield. Whether we look at signing another midfield player or not, I'm not sure. I think that would largely depend on whether Conor Gallagher goes. Yes, big up, brother. Inferior competition will help these young players level up. Yep. Is there a cap next? Not what this coming season? I don't think there is. Guys, 213 in the building. Big up to everyone. Smash the like button. 98 likes. Let's get this to 150 likes as quickly as possible, guys. Smash that thumbs up button. Keep subscribing to the channel as well. We are heading towards 10.3K. Make sure that we are subscribing to the channel, guys. Let's try and get another 10 subscribers if we can. So smash the likes, get it up to 150, guys, and keep subscribing to the channel as well. 220 people in the building this afternoon. Big up to every single one of you. Mad love to everyone. Keep smashing the likes, as I say. It really helps out. Let's get it to 150, and keep subscribing if you are new around here as well. The thing is, you cannot be so rigid with a wage bill and expect to run a big club. Yeah, I absolutely agree. David is a top player that can play 10 or wider mid. His football IQ is very high and he won't cost much in transfer and wages. Yeah, I would agree that there's hardly... I don't see us... They might have internally discussed him. I don't see us making a move for Reze. I could be wrong. It's hard not to see things that way right now. It absolutely is. Got a strange feeling Palmer will play right wing just like last season. That isn't believed to be the plan, though. Palmer, of course, could feature on the right-hand side, but the plan is to play him more centrally. I've said it before, the best way to improve the first team is to keep everyone healthy. That has a bigger impact. Yeah, I absolutely agree on that. I think more, barring obviously signing top players, I actually think that keeping everyone fit would be, or improving our player durability would be more important than most signings we could make. Let's not forget about all the injured players we had last campaigns. I feel like new signings as well. Yes, some of them will. I prefer like a proper 9. I think David is similar to Nkunku. No, David's not really similar to Nkunku. He's definitely more of a number 9 for sure. Wishful thinking would be nice, but let's wait and see. Mitrovic, maybe. He's not going to leave Saudi a year after going there. What else have we got going on here? Let's have Andre Santos coming back, who was really good in France, will fit Maresca's system perfectly as a rotational player. No, it's something to do with Agate. Is that Man United are potentially interested in Agate. It's nothing to do with Chelsea and Agate. Would you take Kudus? I would have taken him last summer, but at the reported £85 million release clause, absolutely not. So no, I wouldn't. Chelsea fans are wanting quick action from our club. I suspect, you know, once we get into July, there'll be more interest. Things will start to heat up a little bit more on that front. Well, I don't know what happened with the Agate thing, because we were supposedly front runners for that deal, and then, you know, I think Sporting threatened to report us, or PSG threatened to report us because we PSG's financial package was. Yeah, PSG's financial package was definitely better than ours, but yeah, there's something weird was going on there. Would I take Bowen? Yeah, I would take Jarrod Bowen, but again, he's under contract at West Ham until 2030, and it's just not going to happen. It simply isn't going to happen. Is the reality of that one. It says there's another Prem team looking at Agate. People think it's us. No, I can understand why people would think that, because of obviously the interest last summer, but I don't see it myself. I mean, look, Bowen would be great, but it's not going to happen. But yeah, these are obviously the names on the list right now. Maximilian Bayer is an exciting talent at Hoffenheim. You know, 16 goals in his first Bundesliga season, 21 years of age. Release clause about £27.5 million. But again, he's not in a rush to leave necessarily, and I'm sure they might benefit him to stick around somewhere where he's going to play regular first team football. But if we just slightly hone in on Jonathan David briefly, with these reports from Germany suggesting that Chelsea are seriously interested. I mean, David wouldn't report, according to these reports, David wouldn't even be 30 million. Chelsea and West Ham are seriously interested in Jonathan David. Chelsea have inquired about the 24-year-old top striker from Lille in recent days. West Ham have also gathered information. He's also on the shortlist of Man United. A move to the Premier League is currently the most likely. David on the verge of leaving Lille this summer with 1 year left on his contract. Price valuation at this stage, 20 to 25 million euros. That is 17 to 21 million pounds. That is ridiculous. That is an absolute bargain for a player of his quality. And yes, you know, he's not a top striker on the market, but in the market, the way the striker market is right now, the kind of players that Chelsea have been linked with, and, you know, the options that are seemingly there for us, this is an absolute steal and a complete no-brainer. You know, it makes so much sense, yet, you know, Chelsea might not do it, which would be very, very frustrating to say the least. Very frustrating. Yeah, David's wages will fit in the way. Lille don't pay massive wages. David will be able to get a pay rise at Chelsea, and I'd imagine that his wages would absolutely fit in the pay structure 100%. No, of course we're not going to lose Jackson. Jackson's not going anywhere this summer. If we sign Jonathan David, we're not going to lose Nicholas Jackson. No, but he's a better finisher and a better goal scorer. You know, the other aspects of his play, I would agree that Jackson probably offers more in all-round play. But in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net and scoring goals, David is absolutely clear of Jackson in that front in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net. Yeah, I mean, we basically paid in the middle of that for Kellyman. So yeah, I get exactly what's being said. Now, I'm not doing David prop. Well, compare. I mean, look, if we were in the running for, you know, bigger and better strikers, then I wouldn't be doing that. But the fact of the matter is, mate, is that with the options available, this is the standout choice on the market available to us, and it wouldn't cost us very much money at all in transfer fee, and it would be reasonably modest wages as well. So for me, there's no downside to this. Yeah, could you imagine that? Now, do you know what? We don't want to do that sort of 17 or 20 million for David. We're going to go back in for Duran, and they're going to go and drop 40 million on it. You know, that can't entirely be ruled out either. But the fact that the Duran thing has gone quiet suggests to me that Chelsea have perhaps got off the idea after maybe making some sort of initial background checks. Guys, still 217 in the building, 118 likes. Let's get this up to 150. No reason why we can't hit 200 likes, people. Smash the thumbs up button. Keep subscribing to the channel if you are new around. And there must be plenty of people in here who aren't subscribed. Let's try and get another 10 subscribers. Guys, please subscribe to the channel. Let's get towards that 10.3K. So let's keep it moving, people. Up to 150 on the likes. Keep subscribing as well, guys. Every new subscriber really helps, and I'd appreciate you guys becoming part of the channel, part of the journey. Loads of content coming over the summer, transfers, guests, all sorts. So please do subscribe and join the journey. Yeah, we're going to keep Nico Jackson. If they're paying him 100K a week as reported, that's definitely to be part of the first team. I trust the scouting more than mostly. I'm sure it's been excellent, but this is very risky. Jonathan David wages at Lille, 27 grand a week. Really? Is that it? Just hope we have our signings sorted before pre-season. Yeah, look, if we can get as many of the signings sorted before pre-season as possible, that is going to make a big difference for us. Yeah, but pace isn't the only thing needed as a striker. In terms of, like, Jackson's got good attributes, but his finishing is not the best. David is a decent finisher. You know, he's absolutely a decent finisher. No doubt about it whatsoever. He knows where the back of the net is. He scores goals, and he's not on big wages, and he's also a cheap transfer fee. So whether Chelsea end up going for this or not, there is an absolute bargain waiting for a club this summer to sign David, who I think will do pretty well wherever he likely ends up. I think he'll do pretty well wherever he ends up at the end of the day. Give David 50 grand a week and he's coming. Well, I think it'd be more than just finances, but yeah, look, you could double, you could even triple his wages, and it would be light work on that front, you know, for Chelsea. Well, I think it'll be Marc Guiu. Amari Kellyman is going to be an official announcement this week expected. That's the next signing. But then after that, I think it'll be Guiu. And then from that point onwards, I don't really know. Only obvious weakness of David is his heading ability. Actually, he's got very similar profile to Jackson. Yeah, he's arguably probably worse than Jackson in the air, and Jackson's not great in the air. So that's perhaps not a totally ideal situation to find ourselves in at all. We're getting more kids. I don't know what we're going to do with them. Welcome to the Cobham nursery, people. Bro, Xerxes, Chelsea are not interested in Xerxes. United obviously got a strong interest in him. But yeah, Chelsea definitely not interested in Joshua Xerxes. This is why Man City was suing the Premier League because of all this revenue issues. I mean, I don't know. That's not something that I've looked into or anything like that. But look, ultimately, the Jonathan David deal is there to be done. It's huge. Let's see whether Chelsea decide to act. You know, it's all very well being interested and whatnot, but the interest is only part of it. Are we going to act on this deal? Are we going to look to get it done? I mean, David's currently on Copa America duty with Canada. If he's keen to come, this is a very easy deal to do, and it's absolutely something we should be looking at. But if I had to be honest, with the way that the market's gone so far, and you know our track record as of yet, you know, I'm concerned that we won't go and do this deal. Pre-season tour, I think we go out on July 24th, but obviously I think players that haven't been involved in international duty will report, you know, start coming back in the first few weeks of July. I would have thought, but the tour, I think Chelsea head off on the tour on July 24th. I believe that to be the case. I could be wrong, but it's at the end of July basically. Chelsea have turned into a kids' academy now more than ever. From my contacts, we have lost loads of potential sponsor deals because of this strict PSR rules. Well, we lost potential sponsorship deals because we're not in the Champions League. So we're not going to be able to optimize our sponsorship opportunities at the end of the day. Yes, big up, mate. What are your thoughts on the Amari Kellyman signing? Seems very pricey. It is pricey. I would argue it absolutely isn't market value whatsoever. I've got no idea what we're going to do with him. I know next to nothing about him. And yeah, I share your skepticism, of how he's going to break through and how he's actually going to get the minutes he needs to develop at the football club. Surely he's going to go out on loan somewhere. There's no way that he's going to spend £19 million and stick him in the academy. That surely isn't happening. That surely isn't happening. But yeah, I think Chelsea hold fire for better. Just top tier. We're not going to get better or top tier this summer or get potential striker. No, not 3 in the morning. No, I mean I love Chelsea, but I'm not getting up at 3 in the morning to watch us play like fucking Wrexham or Club America or whoever it might be. Well, yeah, it's not just us. It's obviously Villa, Everton, Newcastle, kind of in that mix as well. I've got no idea what the plan for Kellyman is. I really don't. Absolutely no idea whatsoever on the Amari Kellyman plan. But it will be interesting to see what it's going to be. But guys, still nearly 230 in the building, guys. 20 likes required to hit 150. Come on, people. Let's keep it climbing. Smash that thumbs up button. It's free. Really helps out. Gets more eyes on the channel. Boosts the content in the algorithm. So let's keep it moving, people. Let's keep it moving on that front. Get it up to 150, guys. That should be light work with 230 in the building. And let's add some more subscribers as well. 230 in, and there must be a few people that aren't subscribed. So please subscribe to the channel as well, guys. It'll be greatly appreciated. Carney, lack of breakthrough is due to injury. Look, it's 2 youngsters that have come from Villa now. Let's see what the plan for Kellyman is. Let's see how he does in the preseason. But yeah, it's not exactly a signing that necessarily excites me. And it's literally the only reason we've signed him is as a favour to Aston Villa for taking in Martin off us. Fair. I respect that. I respect that. Don't understand the board's logic sometimes. Signing Garassi on a 50 million release clause would allow us to work under an experienced striker while developing our young ones. Yeah, no, I hear it. Yeah, I would have taken Darwin Núñez. I absolutely would have taken Darwin Núñez. Chelsea inquired about him last summer. Obviously, Liverpool not wanting to sell him, but yeah, I would have absolutely taken him. Yes, big up, bro. We're exploiting another loophole with getting clubs to agree to overpay for academy players. Well, at the end of the day, the only people that have overpaid for academy players are us. I don't think £37.5 million for Ian Martin's overpaying, but 19 million for Amari Kellyman is 100% overpaying. But yeah, anyway, that's the latest on David. Chelsea seriously interested, could be available for around 17 to 21 million pounds. Yeah, of course it's a favour. Of course it's a favour. That's the whole point of these deals, is that it helps. That's why teams are trading academy players between one another to help each other out with PSR. Villa did us a favour with Martin, and in return, we've done them a favour by giving them 19 million quid for Kellyman. Chelsea would never be signing Amari Kellyman if they didn't need help in regards to the PSR situation. You can't, honestly, people genuinely think that if we had no potential PSR issues, that we'd be dropping 19 mil on Amari Kellyman this summer. Of course he wouldn't, guys. Come on, let's wake up and get with the programme here. Look, I want the kid to do well. Of course I do, and it's nothing against the kid at all because it's not his fault. But guys, the reason why Kellyman's joined is for PSR benefits, not for us personally, but for Villa, and the PSR benefits we've got from Ian Martin. That's the only reason that Kellyman has joined the club. The days of massive signings will be rare for football. Maybe. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Let's move away from Jonathan David. I expect that to kind of progress fairly quickly. Not say progress fairly quickly, but I expect that to progress at some point. Whether it's us or anyone else, let's wait and see. But let's talk about this situation here. So Chelsea are targeting one or two attacking players rather than committing to a central striker. Maresca prefers to play with just one centre forward, and there are others already in the squad who can lead the line, such as Christopher Nkunku. Look, I understand that, but I look at this and I just think if we didn't sign a forward this window, I think we would be making a huge mistake. I think we'd be making a huge mistake. No one's pretending. I'm not pretending that I'm some PSR expert, but it's quite easy to read between the lines as to what's going on here. Lewis Dobbin going from Everton to Villa, that completely unknown Villa midfielder going to Everton in return. The same with us, with Martin and Kellyman. The reason these deals are being done are for a way around PSR. Now, look, for all we know, Kellyman could turn out to be a decent player. And obviously, he's highly regarded and he's got potential, sure. But what my point here is that if the club aren't potentially in danger of a PSR breach or a sort of sailing close to the wind in regards of PSR, then if we weren't in that situation, we would never be signing Amari Kellyman. That's my point here. I'm not pretending to be a PSR expert or anything like that, but it's quite easy to read between the lines as to what's going on here. And look, I would love Kellyman to do well, but ultimately, I cannot see what the plan for him is, and I cannot see where he's gonna fit in. In all honesty, malpractice is exploiting a loophole. It is something the Premier League are investigating, whether these teams are trading players between each other at an inflated value. That is something that is being investigated by the Premier League. PSR, they reckon his value plus English tax could be more than 19 million some years. Well, you're going to have to wait some years for his value, for someone that's not even started a Premier League game, to be worth more than 19 mil. I don't care for marquee signs. I think we all just want quality players right now. I agree on that. Maresca start work yet, or we just making a heap of assumptions on what he wants and needs? Won't do the Elise or Williams deals, but happy to spend 100 million on two midfielders. I don't think we've wasted money necessarily on Enzo and Casadei, but I think, look, when more time passes by, I think it will become evident that we would have wasted, that we have overpaid for a lot of players, and in some instances we would have wasted a lot of money. That much, I think, is absolutely fair and is absolutely clear. They've been spending big on teenagers recently. I'll tell you, the dude is decent. I mean, look, what are we judging this on? He made 3 substitute appearances for Villa, and he made a few appearances in the Conference League. Yeah, sure, there might be something about him, but that doesn't qualify you to be worth 19 million pounds and able to make an impact at Chelsea. That's my point. And for his development, I've got to be honest, coming to Chelsea wouldn't have been the best step for his development, in my opinion. Are we still linked with Maximilian Bayer? Yeah, there's still an interest in Bayer. but it's viewed as unlikely right now. It's viewed as unlikely right now. So we are going to wait and see on that front whether anything materializes for him. But I would say right now it looks unlikely. Yeah, Maresca officially starts July 1st. Lavia excites me. Who is your ideal striker from the list we've seen by media outlets? I'd probably say Jonathan David would be my. Well, I'd probably say Jonathan David would be my choice. I think it's definitely one that makes the most sense given the options that are available. So that'd be my first choice. My biggest issue though is I just really hope that we don't end up not signing a forward and we just make a couple of attacking signings. And we kind of just make do with what we've got and put a few kind of square pegs in round hole situations, getting Kunku going there. Maybe someone plays as a false nine if there's injury problems. I think we absolutely have to get another striker. I don't know. Look, that all depends on if Chalobah leaves. If Chalobah leaves, then I think we will. I think we will sign. I think we will sign another centre back. But right now it seems quiet. No one's saying it's a poor squad, by the way. No one's saying it's a poor squad. But at the end of the day, Jackson's still raw, as is Mudryk, as is Carney, as is Andre Santos, Esteban and Kendry. You know, we can't even comment on them because they're not even kicked a ball for us. No one's saying it's a poor squad, but all I'm saying is that the club have taken a huge gamble, basically, on players becoming as good as they think they're going to be. That is the big gamble that is being taken here. And that's my point. Got to remember, we're not a very attractive club these days. Top players, even experienced players, won't come on the wage structure. Yeah, I think it's going to be harder to attract top quality players in their prime with the current situation, no Champions League football, the wage structure and whatnot. Absolutely. But maybe that's the route that the club are going down. And maybe that's the route that the club are happy to are happy to go down. You know, that's kind of what they've made for themselves, really. Got to remember, I've done that. Is there any players that we've signed in the last year, 18 months that you'd sell? Not right now. Not right now. I think it's still a bit early on that front. But yeah, look, certainly this season it will be something. If some of these players we've signed in the last 18 months or 2 years again have another average or poor season, then I think I would definitely look to shift some of them on. No doubt about it. Let's see what else we've got going on here, people. Let's move away from that. Let's talk about outgoings, guys. Let's talk about outgoings because I'm not saying that Madueke is going to leave by any stretch of the imagination, but Noni Madueke has been discussed internally at Newcastle. Had a good season last season. It didn't start particularly well, but he finished strongly. I think he got five GNA in the last 9 games with Chelsea. Made some important contributions in the running. Was direct, takes players on, good one-on-one ability. Even the defensive side of his game had massively improved as well, which was a big positive to see. He was working hard and he was making an impact. And do you know what? Like, if Elise had joined, you could have understood maybe slightly more if Chelsea were open to letting him go. But the fact Elise's not come, the fact that Maresca wingers are big in Maresca's system. If Chelsea were to sanction a departure for Noni Madueke, it would be ridiculous. I'm not saying it's going to happen, by the way, but. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you can maybe understand it a bit more. But yeah, it would be crazy to sanction his departure. I think particularly with Maresca being so big on wingers in his system, it's absolutely absolutely huge in Maresca's system. I think Madueke can play a massive part next season. And if Cole Palmer is moved more centrally, again, depending on who we signed, I absolutely believe that Madueke will be the starting right winger. Will be the starting right winger next season. You know, providing he stays fit, providing he impresses in pre-season, attitude, works hard and whatnot. If he can carry on that end of season form that he showed, then there's no reason why we can't why he wouldn't improve. Absolutely no reason why he wouldn't be the main starter next season. People, 184 in the building still. Keep smashing that like button. Let's get this up to 160 likes. We're on 152. Keep smashing the like button. Let's get it up to 160, 170 if we can. And keep subscribing to the channel as well, guys. Let's take another step closer to 10.3K. We are moving along nicely at the moment. So please keep smashing that like button. Please keep subscribing to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Big up the community. Big up everyone that's part of the channel, part of the journey that I'm going on at the moment. Don't know where it's going, but you guys are on for the ride, and it's going to be a good one. The fact that Sanchez fans have been brainwashed by the PR and adjusted for mediocrity. Look, I just say it how I think it is. I'll praise things that the club do when it deserves praise, and I'll criticize things that I think they're doing wrong. And criticism doesn't mean that you don't support the team. You can support and still be critical of what's going on. You know, it's called being a fan. It's called having balanced views and whatnot. We can do that. Yeah, absolutely. Don't remember any club dismantling a whole squad and turn the club into mid-table level. Youth is good as far as you balance with experience. Yeah, I agree that the balance with experience is absolutely not there. It's not there at all, the balance of experience. So, yeah, that is an issue, guys. No doubt about it. That is a big issue for sure. What else? Madueke, I think, will be a big part of what we do next season. He's an exciting player. He's a talented player, and he's still only 22 years of age. Or 21, 22 years of age, young, loads of room for development. I think, with Reece James, hopefully with a fit Reece James next season, if he overlapping Noni, Gusto overlapping Noni, another season together with each other, a better understanding of one another, then it's going to be, there's definitely room to be positive about Madueke. And I'd be absolutely shocked if Chelsea looked to cash in on them in the summer. I'd be very, very surprised. Unless they've got a big wide player in the offing to sign, then I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. I don't see it at all. That's the reality for me. I don't see it at all. Because there's a top player there. Absolutely. Yes. Big up, brother. Nico will be so important next year, not only as a goal scorer, but he's such a good footballer as a whole. Yeah, absolutely. He needs to improve on his finishing. No doubt about it, needs to improve on his finishing. But yeah, he will absolutely be an important player next season. No doubt about that. But if we can get someone that's a bit more of a better goal scorer than him, then we're onto a winner. Yes, big up, Will. Thank you so much, bro. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, guys, Madueke, that's kind of the latest with him. What else are we looking at here? I mean, there's been talk about Cesare Casadei potentially leaving as well. Chelsea would be open to letting him leave if he requested to leave, basically. Chelsea still rate him highly. He's ready to fight for his future, apparently. Let me just bring this up now on Casadei, by the way, because this is the thing with all these talented youngsters, is that, you're going to have to move a lot of them on. Cesare Casadei will wait to talk with Enzo Maresca before deciding his future. He is ready to fight for his future at Stamford Bridge unless he is told by Maresca that his future would be best suited away from West London. That's according to Nazar Kinsella. The Athletic also added that Chelsea would be open to sanctioning Casadei's departure if the midfielder told them he wanted to leave. They believe Chelsea still rate Casadei highly, but ultimately, it's a case of what opportunities is he going to get. He played 18. He got recalled from Leicester, and he played 80 minutes of football over the second half of the season last season. Chelsea would make a profit not on Madueke, sorry. They'd make a profit on Casadei if they sold him now. They would get some return on what they've spent on him. Carney was the reason why we've overspent on Kellyman is because Carney was playing not regular Premier League football, but he's kind of semi-established himself in the side. Kellyman's made 3 appearances from the bench. That's the difference. That's the difference for me. Too many players, which leads to us having a bloated wage of people who aren't playing for us at that level that matters. Yeah, I absolutely agree, mate. How many players are there that can't be in the academy, but also aren't good enough to be in the first team? There's so many of them. And bro, that is exactly the problem we've got right now. Is there's not enough players that are improving the first team. There's too many players that are just on the fringes. Might be good enough in a few years. But aren't good enough to make an impact on the first team right now. That's perhaps this is the biggest problem here. It's fine, let's accrue this talent, all exciting youngsters coming in and whatnot. But the reality of the situation is, guys, is there's not room for them all. We're stalling a lot of their developments. And the idea to flip these guys on for profit is all well and good. But if these guys aren't playing, then it's totally irrelevant if these guys aren't playing. That's the whole problem here. It's totally irrelevant if these guys aren't playing. So, yeah, that's the that's the problem for me. That is the absolute problem for me. Carney was a steal looking back. If he can keep himself fit and realize his potential, then absolutely, he would be he would go down as a steal potentially. Sure, I would agree on that front, but he needs to realize that potential, stay fit. Palmer wasn't playing regular football when we spent 40 million on Palmer. We need to calm down and trust. Palmer was different though, because he wasn't playing regular football, but he was on the periphery of the squad at Man City, getting some minutes here and there. He was a known talent and a known quantity. Obviously, he did way better than anyone expected, but signing like a Guiu, for example, is totally different to signing a Cole Palmer. Look, I don't think we just have to appreciate every signing that we make. Of course, every signing we make, I'll support and wish them the very best at Chelsea. But I think it's perfectly legitimate to question the transfer strategy about what we're doing right now and how this strategy fits in with actually improving the first team over the long term. Because right now, it's all very well saying, we might have a great team in 2 or 3 years. What are you doing about improving the first team right now? What signings are we making that's going to improve the first team right now? I'm not seeing any signings that right now are improving the first team. And that's the biggest problem. That is the biggest problem right now. Too many signings being made that aren't improving the first team when they come in. That's the problem. England prediction. Slovenia aren't great, are they? I would say I think England will win. I think we're not going to score many goals. I think it will be. I think maybe 2. I think 2-1 or 1-0. I'll go 2-1 England. But yeah. Anyway, Casadei. I wouldn't be surprised if he went. I just don't look at him as someone that is. I would say he's not good enough, but yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? That he's just another one that has come in. you know, he's been on a few loans already. Isn't really good enough yet to break into the first team, and might not be. They might not be. This is the problem. This is absolutely the problem at the moment, guys. But yeah, that's the latest on Casadei. Chelsea not going to stand in his way, but they wouldn't be surprised. They wouldn't obviously block him from leaving. What else is going on here? See if there's anything else going on. And then we will begin to round this one out if there are any further things to discuss. Has any news come in recently? No, I don't think. I don't think there is anything. Let's have a quick look. No, doesn't look like it. No, right. Guys, I am going to round this one out here now. Big up to everyone that has tuned in this afternoon. Appreciate each and every single one of you as always. Guys, enjoy the Euros tonight. I mean, France, Poland now, Netherlands, Austria. Then we've got England tonight. Probably to put everyone in a shit mood. But yeah, let's hope Cole Palmer plays. Conor Gallagher's set to start. Let's see how he gets on. But yeah, guys, thanks for all your support as always. Please, on the way out, smash the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the Euros tonight if you are watching. And yeah, let's see what tomorrow has got in store for us in terms of transfer news, any potential signings, any inroads on any signings. So yeah, big up to everyone, guys. Big love. Smash the like, subscribe on your way out. And yeah, catch you guys tomorrow, 4 p.m. UK time, same time. Peace up the Chelsea and see you tomorrow.